If you are not new to my channel, you know that I'm of the opinion that those who have the eyes to see and the ears to hear are people who are aligned with the truth, and people who are more likely to be aligned with the truth are people who are more aligned with the natural order of the universe, which is men are men and women are women, okay? And alpha males tend to interpret information differently than beta males or women do. So, if you're an alpha male, you're probably going to have, or you don't even have to be specifically alpha. As long as you're a masculine man who's in touch with your masculinity, you're probably going to interpret things more correctly than a feminine man or a woman does. So I was watching this video on YouTube, and there's this girl YouTuber who made this video, and she's talking about reincarnation, right? And I forget what book she was talking about, but this book had, this book was all about reincarnation and past lives. Basically, some therapists were doing past regression therapy with a bunch of different people, and they wrote like a book about all the different past lives they uncovered and stuff, and the people they tried to help. And these therapists, they had this one case where this guy had multiple past lives, and in the majority of his past lives, he died the same way every time. Okay, so this guy, he had multiple reincarnations and he died multiple times, and the majority of his deaths were the same type of death, where he is basically being killed on a battlefield. And the one example they gave is that he was on a medieval battlefield fighting against like another knight or something. He gets knocked to the ground. I'm downloading a bunch of videos from YouTube before they get taken off the internet. So he gets knocked to the ground, and then he starts begging for his life because the guy he's fighting is about to finish him off. So he starts begging for his life, please don't kill me, And the guy, ignores him and just kills him anyways. Right? Because it's a freaking battlefield, after all. But anyways, so the way the female YouTuber and the beta psychiatrist interpreted this is that this guy is stuck in these endless cycles of reincarnation because he keeps dying this like terrible death of being killed. So they figure that the best way for them to prevent him from being killed this way and experiencing this type of death and possibly end the cycles of reincarnation is to prevent him from dying in this manner. Prevent him from going to war, prevent him from ever ending up in a situation where he could potentially be killed by an enemy. And that's not how I interpret this. In medieval times, there's this idea of dying well. You'll notice in a lot of art, there's a lot of art and depictions from medieval times. There are pictures of people who are being killed, and as they're being killed, they are smiling. See how he's actually smiling? He has this peaceful look on his face as he's being stabbed in the head and the side, okay? You see this sort of thing over here? This guy's like getting stabbed in the head and he's just kind of like shrugging it off almost. He's already been stabbed here. Blood coming out of this wound, right? You see this guy's getting stabbed and he like just doesn't even look like he cares. So there's this concept of dying well. This idea that when you die, when your time comes, you should die with honor, you should die with dignity, you should die well. Okay? Now, you tell me, as far as I'm looking at this, I'm thinking to myself, okay, so this guy's about to die, and instead of accepting his death and dying well, what he chooses to do is beg for his life like a coward. Okay? Why should his life be spared when he probably killed a couple people on that battlefield already, He literally goes into the battlefield planning to kill people, maybe kills a couple people, but then when it's his turn to die, he starts crying like a sniveling coward, oh, spare my life, boo-hoo. Right? and he starts clinging to life. He clings to life. Alright? The majority of spiritual traditions, Christianity, Buddhism, they have this idea that, gluttony is a sin, these sort of material desires, like being materialistic is like a negative thing, that if you want to transcend the earth plane and go to heaven, the only way you can do it is by letting go of earthly desires, letting go of life, and actually accepting your death when it comes. But if someone dies and they're clinging to life as best they can, begging not to be killed, when they die, why wouldn't their soul try to reincarnate and come back to this earth plane? Because he's clinging to the earth plane. That's what he's doing. He's clinging to the earth plane as best he possibly can in his moment of death. So when he dies, the soul, instead of going to heaven, instead it comes back to the earth plane again, because that's what he's clinging on to. Spiritual traditions teach that you have to let go of the earth plane. You need to transcend it. Let go of spiritual carnal desires and earthly riches and ascend, So in my opinion, these psychologists, they are completely wrong. They should not be trying to get him to avoid battle. They should be trying to get him to man up and actually accept his death when it comes, and teach him how to accept his death. If you guys find yourself on a battlefield and you get shot and it's your time to die, instead of crying and begging for life and trying to cling to the life, instead light yourself up a cigarette, look up at the sky, take a puff, and just close your eyes and be done with it. And you don't literally have to light up a cigarette. I'm just mean that metaphorically. Alright? It's better to die with honor, die with dignity, than it is to die like a coward. And in my opinion, the reason why this guy's soul keeps coming back and stuck in endless cycles of reincarnation is because he's clinging to the earthly plane and he keeps dying like a coward. If he would just die with some dignity, some honor, actually accept his death when it comes, then he'd probably be better off. The ancient Chinese had a saying that went, "If you defeat me and kill me, then I will forgive you. But if you defeat me and let me live, I will find you and I will kill you." So yeah. You guys tell me what you think.